Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am really excited to be doing this video. I've never really gotten to do one of these like my makeup wish list videos before just because I have no self-control, and anytime that I ever am like, ooh, I really want that, I go out and I get it without second thought. So as you guys know, or if you are new here and you don't know, I am currently on a no buy. I wish I had I honestly have like a little sticker on the date that I started my no buy. It was in February. It has been going for, I want to say like somewhere between 3 weeks to a month right now, which is not a long time by like normal people's standards, but I have a serious makeup addiction. I have a really hard time not constantly buying new makeup. And I just hit this point where it was really damaging to my bank account, which is not a big deal. It's like kind of what I choose to spend my money on. Everybody's got a thing. You know, Tom really likes to buy records, so he'll spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all of these different records. I really like to buy makeup, and I will spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to buy all of this makeup. I would like to say that this no buy is like I'm going strong, but that would be a lie. It has been a struggle for me literally every single day. Even today, I went to the dentist earlier today, and then I had to go to the Home Depot really quickly to pick something up for around the house. And even in like the Home Depot plaza, there is a Marshall/HomeSense, and I was even like, oh, I should go look and see like what kind of makeup is discounted. And then I was like, no, Sam, no, you don't need to go. You're being strong. Just like do it, hold out a little bit longer. A couple of people have asked if I know when my no buy is going to end. The answer, no, I don't. I'm kind of just going to keep chugging along as long and as strong as I can go. But I sense that I'm gonna break pretty soon because there are some new releases coming out. And these are products that I have just been like itching to get my hands on. Pretty much the last one on this list is going to be the big one that'll probably break my no buy. Not just because I want it, but like I want it and I want to share it with you guys, and I like to always do that in like a timely fashion if I'm going to do that. There's no point in me buying a product like 10 months after it comes out and then showing you guys a review, because at that point there's already tons of reviews on it. So I'm just going to start. I like to ramble. I'm just going to start right now. So the first thing on my list, also anything that I mention, I will list down below. I will link the price, and I will link to a website where you guys can get it if you're interested in it. I'm also going to I'm going to shift this way because I'm planning on popping like little pictures up here as I talk about things. Just so you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at, what I'm interested in, what's like really grabbing my attention right now. So the first thing is the Glamglow. I also have my laptop open next to me just so I can look at the list. The Glamglow Glowpowder Hyaluronic Acid Infused Glow Palette. So this is like a trio of highlighting powders. One of them looks very deep, like it could be a sort of shimmery bronzer perhaps. I had looked at this a while ago and almost bought it. Like it was in my cart on Sephora, and then I pulled it out because again, this was one of those products that like I hadn't really heard anything about. And then I saw Tati talk about it, and she was like, I love this, I'm obsessed with it. And I was like, crap, I knew I should have got it when I had the chance. So a little like blurb about it. It just says it's an innovative, ultra-modern highlighting palette with blendable and buildable glow powders that diffuse light, blur imperfections, and refine your skin. So it's kind of like a blurring, kind of like hourglass dim light, I think is the one I'm thinking of, like the lighting powders, the ambient lighting powders, sort of like that with a highlighter all mixed into one. It looks so beautiful. It's only got 3 colors in it, and to be completely honest, I just got a new highlighting palette that has like 8 colors that I love dearly. I've got it on my face today. If you're wondering what that is, I will link the video where I talk about it here and also down below so you guys can check it out. But I just got a highlighting palette, so it's like, do I really need this? No, probably not, but I do really want it, and I've wanted it for a long time. Okay, the second item on my no buy wish list is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I am just as surprised as you guys are to see a foundation on this list. I think that this is the only one, but don't hold me to that. I recently purchased a whole bunch of new foundations. Majority of them are like luminous or radiant is the word I'm looking for, that sort of a thing. That's kind of what I look for in a lot of foundations, is a really sheer, light to medium buildable coverage. I've got a few really full coverage foundations, but that's all I really need. I'm very into like the natural no makeup look, and these are the kind of foundations I look for. I honestly saw Shan XO talking about this foundation. She was keeping it in a declutter she did. I feel like I looked at this at the store at one point. By the way, if you're wondering how I came up with this list, I literally went through every brand on Sephora and just started pulling things out that I wanted. I was doing like virtual shopping where I was like, if I could buy makeup right now, I would buy this and I would buy this. I didn't buy anything, but it's really difficult for me. So this is a medium coverage liquid foundation with a luminous natural finish. It has a ton of shades. It's good for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin, so all skin types. It just looks kind of like what I like. Do I need another foundation right now? Honestly, probably not. I've got a ton, and foundations do go bad. They are liquid. Powders you can get away with for a lot longer, so I should probably use up some of what I have. This is the other reason I'm on this no buy, is just to start using some of what I already have, cull down the collection that I've got before I start putting new things into it that I'm never gonna get to in time. But this is just something that's just like in the back of my head for when I start buying makeup again. Okay, so the next product is the Armani Beauty Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer. I want the shade Shim Beige. Basically, it's just like, I don't know, it's in the same bottle type as like the Luminous Silk Foundation from Armani. It is basically just something that you can add to your, it basically says, I keep saying basically, it says a coveted sheer illuminating liquid that can be used under, over, or mixed with your foundation for a dewy lit from within glow. So it kind of sounds to me like it's a little bit like my NARS Tinted Glow Booster or something along those lines. Not that I mix that with foundation, but this sounds like I could just put it on just for a really glowy face. I could dot it on as a liquid highlight, or I can mix it in with some of my highlighters, or not highlighters, foundations, kind of like my Marc Jacobs Dewdrops. That's sort of what I use those for, except that this is going to be a lot more fluid. My Dewdrops are a more gel consistency. I actually haven't used them in a really long time. I sort of forgot about them. I should really get back into them again because I was obsessed with those for forever and a day, and now they kind of just sit around. So this is something that I am really amped on. There are 4 shades, and that is just the one that is screaming out to me the most. Alrighty, next product I want to try out, and again, I definitely don't need any more concealers. I sort of went on a little, binge isn't the word I think I'm looking for, a little bender and buying a ton of concealers, but I'm really intrigued by the Beautyblender Bounce Airbrush Liquid Whip Concealer, mainly just on that name. Like, it just sounds like the formula is going to be like this whipped kind of a texture. I'm really intrigued by that. I did try the Beautyblender foundation when it came out. I wasn't a big fan of it. I found it very streaky. I didn't like the way that it went on. But I'm interested about this. It's supposed to be weightless and full coverage with hyaluronic acid and peptides. Anytime I read those kind of words, I'm like, oh, so it's like good for the skin makeup. It'll be fine. But also weightless and full coverage are very difficult to work hand in hand with each other. Nobody wants a like really cakey concealer, especially like under your eyes, which is where I use concealer the most. Nobody wants to be cakey under their eyes. So if this is weightless and full coverage, it could be really good. Again, it comes in a ton of shades. I'm really intrigued by this. I definitely want to try it out. Okay, the next thing that I want to try out are the Bobbi Brown Luxe lipsticks, particularly in the colors Pink, Nude, and Almost Bare. Now, if you guys watched my February favorites video, you guys will have seen that I did put another Bobbi Brown Luxe lipstick in there, except that was the matte formula. I love that lipstick. It is definitely one of my favorites. The pigmentation is amazing. The color is absolutely beautiful. It is a little drying though, and right now I'm in this phase where I'm looking for more moisturizing lipsticks. Maybe it's because it's the winter time and my lips are cracked and dry, but that's sort of what I'm looking for right now. So if I can get the same kind of color payoff in a similar finish and the same kind of beautiful colors, but in something that's a little less drying. I think I'd really like to try it out. So that is just sort of something that's in the back of my mind. I was turned on to these lipsticks. I was watching, I think it's Jamie Page. I was watching her do her like lip product declutters, and she kept pulling out all of these like gorgeous, gorgeous nude shades, and I was like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. So this is kind of where I got that idea from, was from her, and just being like, you know what? I do want a bunch more of like those neutral colors. And not that I don't love my MAC lipsticks, but I do need to start like getting into other brands, diversifying my makeup collection a little bit more. And that is one way I'm going to do it. The only thing about these particular lipsticks that hurts is the price tag. All right, next thing on my list is the Clinique Sun-Kissed Face Jelly Complexion Multitasker. So this is like a bronzing kind of a gel. It's sort of a liquid bronzer, but not quite as like fluid as my NARS Laguna liquid bronzer. This has more of a gel consistency. It's supposed to be really lightweight, gives you a natural, like all over radiant kind of look with adding a little bit of color. It says it's supposed to create warm, healthy looking glow, and that is what I'm looking for. I love to be bronzed, but I've said it a couple times recently that because I do prefer to look more glowy, more dewy, more natural, these kind of like gel bronzers and liquid bronzers are definitely something that I should be looking into more, and this is the first one that I was really, really interested to try because just the formula itself is so different. There's not a lot of jelly or like gel kind of bronzers out there. There's a lot of cream bronzers, which I have a couple on this list as well. Definitely a lot of stick bronzers. Of course, tons of powder bronzers, a few liquid ones, but no gel ones. So I was really interested to try this out. Okay, so the next one is another Clinique product. This is the Clinique Pop Lacquer Lip Color and Primer. I'm looking for the color Nude Pop. So this is like a liquid lipstick that has a primer built into it. So I'm hoping that that's going to mean that it's going to last a lot longer. It's going to hug the lips. It says it's lightweight, formulated with shine boosting vitamins and full coverage in a single coat. All of those sound amazing. I am really looking forward to this, and Clinique's got a lot of like healthy aspects to a lot of their products, and by that I mean like they've got a lot of SPF in them, a lot of vitamins, a lot of that kind of stuff. Sounds like it's really, really good. Like if you're gonna be wearing makeup, you should be wearing makeup that's at least a little bit good for your skin. So I'm really, really intrigued and excited to try this out. Next thing that I want to try is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer in the shade Toffee. Again, this is something that I saw Tati talk about in her favorites of the year video. It's just like a contour stick, but it is a drugstore option. I haven't seen very many of those. I do really want to get more into contouring. I really would like to try. I can't do super harsh, heavy contouring, and that's just mainly because of, you know, people contour to give themselves a different structure in their face, and I'm not trying to say like I don't need that, my face is perfect, but I do have a very already like kind of narrow and long face. So my fear with like anytime I contour, when I like get really chiseled in the cheeks, is it just sort of makes me like look fishy and alien-like, and I'm not a big fan of that, so I don't like to do it a lot, but I would like to like start picking it up a little bit. I mean, my nose is a little bit crooked. That would be nice to kind of fix a bit, I guess. I don't know. It's just something that I'm intrigued to try out. It looks like it blends out beautifully. It looks like it's a soft enough color that you could get away with just putting a light wash on or building it up like crazy and it wouldn't be overwhelming. It does come in a darker color as well, but I think Toffee is the one that I should go for. Next product is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. So everybody knows about Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. It is like 90% of people in the world's holy grail. I haven't tried it, to be completely honest. It looks a little too full coverage for me, but there is a light version. So it's a soft matte liquid foundation with up to 24-hour wear, blurs the look of pores. It's light, it's oil-free. It sounds like the way for me to go, because it's always nice when brands that do these big foundations that are super, super popular come out with a more like light coverage friendly version, if that makes sense. You know, like L'Oreal Infallible, and then L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow came out with a more radiant version for those of us that like a little glow to the skin, that sort of thing. So this I am really excited to try out. I hope it's as good as the other one and that it gets, the reviews look pretty good. Well, they look alright, but I'm really excited to try it out. Alright, so the next couple products I want to try out are two cream bronzers. So the first one is the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel Bronzing Makeup Base. Again, this is something I saw on Tati's channel. She used this in sort of her everyday glam glowy kind of makeup, natural looking, whatever kind of makeup look. It looks absolutely stunning. It's like this creamy sort of whipped looking texture that just looks like it glides on beautifully, blends out like a dream. It's a little expensive and I have to find where it's still available, but I'm really, really interested in trying it out. And then the other product that I want to try out that is quite similar is the Huda Beauty Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream. I'm thinking I'm going to need the shade Fair or the shade Light. It is just a cream bronzer. Again, I saw Jamie Page talk about this. She had all the shades and she said she did really enjoy it. Was really, really good for sculpting out any contour that you want, especially because it's cream. You can take a different brush to it, do really, really narrow, really wide, blends out beautifully as well. Something else I'm really intrigued to try out. Alright, another product that's new to nobody except for me is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Cream. I'm thinking I want to try the Illumination cream. It is a CC cream that has obviously a little bit of a tint to it, also has SPF of 50, and this particular one has some illuminating pearls in it, so it's full coverage, color correcting, but because it's a CC cream, for some reason I just feel like it's going to be lighter than a foundation would be, so it'd be really, really nice. You know, I don't tend to wear a lot of makeup when I go down south except for at night, but say I did want to wear some during the day, this might be a nice option, just something light that I can throw on to correct a little coverage and also give me a little bit of SPF, or if I'm going out during the day in the summertime and again I'm looking for just like a light bit of coverage, this kind of seems right where I want to be. And I see everybody talk about it. I know there's a matte version. I know there's the original version. This is just the one that screams out to me the most because, like I said, I like to be dewy. I like to be glowy. So why not add a little illumination into the mix? Next product that I'm itching to get my hands on and it's killing me. So Too Faced just put out a brand new Born This Way collection that had these little like a highlighting trios. So there are a bunch of different shades for different skin tones and each one comes with 3 highlighters, one for a more like amped up highlight, one for like a subtle blur, and then one kind of like in between. It's like 3 levels of highlight and they just look absolutely stunning. I love Too Faced products. I think they're amazing. I didn't really get into the Born This Way collection. The foundations all seem to pull really yellow and I didn't like that, so I sort of stayed away from it, but these are just screaming my name. I want to try them so, so badly. And in tandem with that, of course, goes hand in hand the Born This Way eyeshadow palette, which again is another neutral palette that I just don't need, but I love the way it's laid out. I love that you get your mattes and your shimmers and that they kind of go together in terms of the shade range and the colors. Like there is a matte and a shimmer that sort of match each other. I'm just so, so drawn to these kind of palettes. Neutrals are my safe space. They are kind of what I use every day, what I reach for the most, what I get the most wear out of. So something like that is just absolutely up my alley, and I do love the Too Faced formula for eyeshadows. I think they are incredible. I've tried like, you know, I never had any of the chocolate bar palettes, but I had the Sweet Peach palette, I have the Peachy Mattes palette, the Gingerbread Spice palette, a bunch of their Christmas stuff. I love Too Faced palettes, so I'm sure that this palette will be another hit just like those. Next thing that I'm really, really into is another foundation. It is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation and Concealer. Again, I saw this on, I can't remember if it was Rach Love's channel or Tati's channel. They sort of did a collaboration using their faves and fails of the year on each other, and Rachel's fave was this foundation. She says it is just fantastic. It is just the most natural looking foundation, and because it's a concealer and a foundation in one, you're cutting out a step completely. You don't need concealer. It will cover, it will color correct, it will just smooth you out so, so beautifully. It's actually not super expensive in terms of a foundation. I've seen much, much more expensive foundations than this one. And it's something from a brand that you don't hear a ton about all of the time. I get items from Pure every now and again, but it's not one of, I would say, like the big ones that are constantly coming out with stuff. So I'm really intrigued by this one. Next thing that I'm really interested to try out is from a brand called Alter Ego. Now, I don't have one specific thing from this brand that I'm interested in trying out. I actually would like to try a bunch of their eyeshadow palettes. I keep seeing these. I've been in this phase lately where I've been watching a ton of eyeshadow palette declutters, and all of these people keep showing these Alter Ego palettes. I think there's one called like the Goddess, the Sahara palette, those sort of things, and they are dupes for some of the Natasha Denona palettes. So I think there's a dupe for the Gold palette, the Sunrise palette that I have. I think that there's a dupe for the Neutrals palette. There might be one for the Safari palette. I would like to try these out because I love Natasha Denona palettes. I love the color stories. I love the formula of them, but they are so expensive that if there is another brand that is putting out palettes that have the same or similar color story and an okay formula, it's definitely in my best interest to go that way instead, because you know, Natasha Denona palettes are amazing. I always tell you guys this. If you have a Sephora gift card or you really want one and you're willing to save up for it, definitely buy them. Don't do what I do, which is buy them on a whim, because they are so much money for just feeling on a whim. Like, those are something that you should be planning on getting, that you should put a lot of thought into, and I tend not to. I just kind of go, oh, that's pretty, and then buy it. And that's not a good reason. I have avoided buying some that I really wanted. I really wanted one of the big ones that was like $300, and I stopped myself from getting it. And even to this day, there's part of me that's like, maybe I'll just get it, but I avoided it for so long that I think I'm okay now, but they're constantly coming out with new ones. So if this Alter Ego brand is putting out, you know, dupes for these specific palettes, why not give it a shot? I would really be interested, and I'm curious to see how good they are. Another brand that, again, I don't have a specific palette in mind, but one that I would like to try out is Juvia's Place. Every freaking person in the world that does like eyeshadow palette declutters always shows these beautiful Juvia's Place palettes, and they look stunning. They've got really nice sized pan sizes. They're affordable. Everybody says that the formula and the pigmentation is just phenomenal. I'm really interested, and right now on their website they do have a bundle for like 6 of their palettes, and it's a pretty decent price. It's like $110 or something like that for 6 palettes, which is just like unbelievably reasonable. So I'm, again, not a specific palette I want, but just a brand that I'm really interested to try out. Another palette that kind of came out of left field for me is the Huda Beauty Pastels Obsession palette, the mint one. I love minty kind of colors. It was one of the reasons that I was like kind of a little almost at the point where like, I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it's kind of like beating a dead horse, but you guys know I don't buy ColourPop anymore. I have my reasons. I know everybody loves ColourPop. Their formulas are amazing. The products are amazing. They're super affordable. I just, you know, it's just something I got away from for my own reasons. I don't even hate as strongly as I did. Like, it was funny because Megan said to me the other day, I love that you were still hating on them as much. I don't even think I am anymore. I just sort of am like, meh, whatever with them. But they put out all of these like monochromatic palettes, and one of them was minty, and I was like, ooh, that looks really pretty. But now Huda Beauty's got a mint one out, and it looks absolutely stunning. It does have those minty colors, but it's also got some staple colors, some browns, and there's a couple colors in there that almost look like marbled. They look really interesting. I would love to see how they actually look on the eye, what they look like when you swirl them together, what kind of color pigmentation and payoff you're getting with those, because whenever a company does like a marbled product that looks like 2 together, you always wonder if it's just like for a look or if it's actually adding an effect. Next thing that I want, and this is a recent addition based on the video that I filmed literally earlier today that this look is based off of, I'm really wanting to get the Scott Barnes Color Bomb #1 palette. Oh my god, I played with the Snatchural #1 palette today, and it is amazing. One of the best eyeshadow formulas I have ever played with, I've ever been graced by. It is amazing. It is a little on the expensive side, but not crazy, crazy bad, I would say. Like, $84 is a lot for a palette, but knowing what the formula is like, honestly, I think that that's reasonable. I wasn't originally going to get this palette, but again, after playing with the eyeshadows that I played with today, how can I resist? The formula is fantastic. If the formula is the same, I need to have that palette in my life. I also really want his like contouring sculpting palette, but I left it off of this list because I need to get a little bit better at actually contouring and bronzing before I can let myself invest in another contour palette, because I've had them in the past and they end up just going the way of the dodo. I always declutter them and get rid of them because I never get use out of them, so I don't want to add another one to my collection until I'm sure I'm going to use it. The last two things are MAC products. First, MAC redid some of their eyeshadow formulas, and one of the ones that they redid are the Dazzle shadows. So they now have Dazzle Shadow Extremes. They look amazing. The glitter payoff, they look so creamy, so pigmented, so oh my gosh, I want them so badly. It is like killing my soul not to have them. But I'm sure that they'll be permanent if it's a revamped formula, so I'll just wait and get them when my no buy ends. And I don't want every color, but I definitely want a bunch of them. I really want to go try them out, see what they're like. And the last thing that I really want, it's not even available yet. They haven't even announced their launch date for it. I just know it's coming and I'm just itching for it. So I'm just going to show you the only thing that I have seen. If I knew how to like put an Instagram video in here, I would, but since I don't, I'll just show you this way. I'm hoping you guys can see that my ring light's not getting in the way. Do you guys see that? Okay, I hope you guys saw that my camera decided to cut me off. MAC is putting out, so if you guys know, MAC put out a couple years ago their retro matte liquid lipsticks, and they're amazing. They're very pigmented, but they are very drying. And then they also put out Powder Kiss lipsticks, which are kind of like a tinted balmy sort of a lipstick. They're very nice. They look like powdery on the lips. They're phenomenal. They are coming out with Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks. They have not announced the launch date yet. I have not seen them. Every time I Google them, I can't find pictures of them. It's driving me nuts. That is the product I am like 99% sure that if it launches and I'm still in this no buy, the no buy is ending because they look so freaking beautiful. They are liquid lipstick, but they are soft, they are powdery, they are feathered out. Oh my gosh, they look so amazing and I want them so badly. But I'm trying to be patient and wait. It's just not going very well. So like I said, I can't really give you a link to those. I can't tell you what colors I want because I don't know what colors they're coming out for. I don't know when they're coming out. There's no link for it. Anyway, so that is all. There are a ton of other products that I do really want, but I narrowed it down for this wish list video because if I didn't, this video would be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long. I don't have the patience to film that. You guys don't have the patience to watch that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If there are other products out there that you guys think that I would really love to try that should be on my no buy wish list, comment them down below. I love hearing from you guys. I always try and respond to everybody. If I don't, I'm sorry. Keep trying. I'll get there eventually. But yeah, like I want to be very like interactive with you guys. I think that that is what makes a channel a lot of fun. It's just the friendships and the bonds and stuff like that that I get to build with you guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.